pleasure to introduce you to Mr. James Taylor, who is the team lead for the Florida Department of Agriculture and Consumer Services Team Nutrition Grant.
Thank you. Today, our focus is on increasing classroom test scores, in many cases by an entire grade, by incorporating a few simple activities without taking away teaching time. Now, I know that's a big statement to make and to say, but it's being done. This year, Avon Elementary School in Highlands County, Florida, is taking giant strides in this area, thanks in part to the Team Nutrition Grant. Principal Pam Burnham and her teachers have just about reached 100% classroom physical activity participation in their school, and here's why.
Hi, I'm Pam Burnham. I'm the principal at Avon Elementary. We believe that a healthy body makes a healthy mind, and we believe that the kids are sitting and doing so much brain work all day that sometimes the brain just becomes numb. So we need to get up and do some activities, and we've been able to use the videos on the website and some other little we call them brain breaks, and the brain does need a break. And so along with the brain taking a break, then the body's actually, they're doing some movement, they're doing some cross-lateral movements that we believe help stimulate the brain and actually helps increase learning.
By now, we've all seen the studies. Whether it comes from Dr. Chuck Hillman from the University of Illinois or Dr. John Rady, Associate Clinical Professor of Psychiatry at Harvard Medical School, one thing we now know is that simple physical activity stimulates the brain, placing your students in a better state for learning and retaining information. Teachers like Mrs. Massey in our next video can tell you that 10 minutes of physical activity will have a much higher effect on her students' test scores than 10 more minutes of book work.
My name is Mrs. Massey. I teach first grade at Avon Elementary in Florida. Every single test that I give, every test, we always do some kind of physical activity. And it's usually between 5 and 10 minutes every time. So they know on Friday mornings, they always know we're going to do something to get out of our seats and move around. And it gets the blood going. Why do we do this? It gets the blood flowing in our bodies and our brain.
Over the past few years, we've seen school test scores drop as physical education classes and physical activity opportunities were reduced or removed altogether from our schools. We now know that physical activity breaks do not disrupt learning. In fact, research shows that physically active students tend to score higher in reading, math, and spelling. Taking physical activity time away for any reason is not going to help academic performance. It just makes it harder for kids to focus during class time. Studies like the one listed on this slide show that increased physical activity leads to improved mathematics, reading, and writing test scores. So how do we implement physical activity into an already full schedule? There are two key items you need to look for. First, does it fit into your schedule? This slide is actually a pretty fair example of how most teachers feel when they're trying to fit everything they need to teach into their daily schedule. But remember, a good resource doesn't take away from classroom time. In fact, it ties into your teaching and helps drive up student academic success, which is the second key element: effectiveness. Over the past 10 years, I've had the opportunity to work with teachers and administrators across 38 states. The slide you're looking at is an accurate depiction of how a majority of successful teachers I met with scheduled their day. First thing in the morning, A, their students were unfocused and having a difficult time learning new materials. So, teachers used this time to review yesterday's lessons. B, right before lunch, our teachers reviewed the morning lessons. And C, at the end of the day when students were growing restless, teachers put away the books and used this time to review that afternoon's lessons. Now this is where things get interesting. A, B, and C on this chart also happen to be the time that students need physical activity. At 8 o'clock in the morning, most students are still groggy and they need an energy boost. Right before lunch, we see a same dip in energy, and at the end of the day, we see our biggest crash. What our teachers will show you today are several of their top favorite physical activity resources, and then how they combine physical activity with their classroom studies as an ideal method of driving up test scores. Let's start with Wisercise by OrganWise. I listed OrganWise first because in my opinion it just belongs first. OrganWise has been proven effective in the classroom, which is why they are one of the only physical activity programs out there you can find that can say they are evidence-based. OrganWise has a tremendous amount of material for free on YouTube, or if you want even more, you can go to their website and enter Melody20 for a 20% discount on any of their teaching materials. Now, OrganWise isn't just limited to the general education classroom. We have specials teachers helping students learn how to count, and even music teachers integrating OrganWise as part of their lesson plan, which you can see here.
Hello, my name is Mysterio, and I'm here at West Elementary School in Arcadia, Florida, and you are now visiting my music classroom. Go fast, high fiber, lots of water, exercise. Go fast, high fiber, lots of water, exercise. Go fast, high fiber, lots of water, exercise. So we do these kids.
So this is your Wisercise program.
Right.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 18, 19, 20.
Now, if we need
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13.
jumping.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18.
Spark. In the physical education class or in the classroom, you're going to be hard-pressed to find a better physical activity resource. Spark is research-based and it's easy to use. Literacy, language arts, math, science, social studies, it's all there. Spark's ABCs. ABC stands for Activity Break Choices. Helps classroom teachers use physical activity to improve academic achievement and foster healthy behaviors. And for those teachers looking for even more, there's a remarkable recess component that comes right along with this resource. Let me show you a quick example of an easy and effective class review you can do.
I'm Emily Eschman. I teach second grade at Avon Elementary School. This is a Spark resource called Odd Hops and Even Jumps. Alright, so we are going to do a number. Are you ready?
Yes, ma'am.
Alright. Just think about it first. If it's odd, we're hopping. If it's even, we're jumping. Go.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
Good job. Breathe. Let me think of a hard one. Get your brains working. Remember, look at the ones place to see odd or even. Go.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13.
Breathe. Alright, we're going to do one more. Don't get too out of breath, y'all. Alright, here we go. Here's our number. Go.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Ah, look at you stopping right away. Good job.
Talk about a program kids absolutely love. LazyTown is the only action-adventure classroom physical activity program out there endorsed by Michelle Obama and the White House. Now, why would the White House single out one program to support? Because it's just that good. This is the perfect resource to use as a 5 or 10 minute brain break in the day or as a short brain boost just before taking a test. And here's a special gift from your friends at Lazy Town. These are 6 complete episodes packed with physical activity. And I tell you, one of the things I love most about this resource is that it's equally good and fun for kids from pre-K to 6th grade. Another thing I like is that they repeat their movements, giving students and teachers an opportunity to do them correctly. Now I'm going to move forward here, but at the very end of this webinar, I'd like to show you how one teacher used this resource to produce the most effective teaching tool you'll ever see. And it's something that you can start doing with your students today. Boom Chicka Boom by The Learning Station and Shake Break by Pancake Manor are free on YouTube, and they're just plain fun. If your students are starting to droop, this is the perfect pick-me-up.
I'm Miss Arthur, and this is my 3rd grade class at West Elementary School in Arcadia, Florida.
One more time.
Reggie, how long have you been on the couch for?
Since breakfast.
What? Time for a shake break!
We have really saved the best for last year. This to me is the gold standard of implementing physical activity into your teaching curriculum. Brandon Kane is a 1st grade teacher at Country Oaks Elementary School in Hendry, Florida, who has mastered the art of maintaining order, reviewing classroom materials, and implementing physical activity into his daily classroom schedule. Remember this slide? Now you get to see how easy it is to do this. While you're watching, see if you can pick up on the little trick Mr. Kane uses to get his students to stop and focus.
Ask questions in between each exercise to kind of get their brain working for the day. Wake them up and let them get that thinking test going. I am Mr. Kane. Welcome to my 1st grade classroom. We are Country Oaks Elementary, and today we're going to be showing you some of the exercises we do in our mornings and afternoon to kind of warm up and get ready for the day. Here we go. And slow. Back front. And run. Almost done. Almost there. And Superman. Hands on your head. Yep. Breath. Ready? Jocelyn. Double stack. 6 plus 6. 12. Very good. Eliza, ready? Double stack. 2 plus 2. Perfect. Angel. Double stack. Ready? 0 plus 0. Perfect. All right, boys and girls, ready? We're going to do the jump rope. And go. Ready? One leg. Other leg. Crisscross. And time to go fast. Here we go.
Did you catch his hands on top of the head trick? It's a perfect way to refocus your students. It's tough to goof around when your hands are on top of your head. The best they'll be able to do is wiggle. Mr. Kane has taken a great physical activity resource in LazyTown, and through his teaching skills, he's turned this into a teaching tool with an added physical activity benefit. Each of the elementary teachers you watched today from DeSoto, Avon, Okeechobee, and Hendry counties are a tremendous example for teachers and administrators across our state that physical activity can be implemented into a daily teaching schedule with great success. Classroom teachers are successfully using this method of teaching each and every day, and so can you. On behalf of Team Nutrition at the Florida Department of Agriculture and Consumer Services, we thank you for your participation, and we look forward to hearing how you've used today's information to successfully drive up test scores in your classroom.